Hello everyone, it's Flip2009 here, and welcome to another video. One of the many things that my mind keeps thinking about when I'm trying to sleep is, what would have happened if Hybrid Thomas continued? I have thought of a few things over the last year or so, and in this video I will tell you everything I've come up with. So we all know Series 12, that hybrid series in models and CGI faces and people, a concept which could very well have worked, but was executed kind of terribly. The original plan was to keep this hybrid style for another few years to ease audiences into the world of CGI before completely switching. This hybrid style was actually planned to start in Series 11, but they never got around to it. And I think the HD cameras that they used for Series 11 must let the CGI come out better, but this never happened. This hybrid had also fallen into Pierce Brosnan's contract. I'm sure a lot of you know that he actually recorded all of Series 12 before being replaced by the two Michaels, and also that there were plans for Who Are the Rails to be in this hybrid style. The crew were nearly ready to film, but then budget cuts happened, and the show had to switch to CGI earlier than planned. But the CGI transition will be covered in a later video. So what if we were to look into another universe where Hybrid Thomas had continued? Who Are the Rails? I heard somewhere that Murdoch's model was going to be modified to be Hero. This could work, but if the crew still wanted Hero to be a D51, they'd have to have done a lot of work. There's also a rumour that Zahandle's model is going to be repainted into Victor. This could have worked. The crew would have to do a lot of work too, unless Victor was originally going to be a Falcon locomotive. And as for Kevin, there was nothing. I think that Kevin was originally not going to be in the movie, and his role had been taken by Colin, so this means that the steam bikes would have had to have been at the wharf. So maybe we could have seen some other narrow gauge engines. They were mentioned by Thomas. As for other characters, I think that Stanley would have had at least a slightly bigger role. He was originally planned to be the main character. The cost is only reduced because they didn't have time to recreate every character in a CGI. I also think that Great Waterton would have had a bigger role. Maybe this would have been the station that Thomas and Spencer raced to instead of Knapwood. Fun fact, you actually see Great Waterton in the opening sequence. Series 13. I think that Series 13 would pretty much been the same, but just with a more complex cast of characters. As for Charlie, it was originally planned for Billy to appear in the episode Splish Splash Splosh, but he wanted more toys, so they recoloured him and boom, new character. They could have repainted the Billy model the same way they made Splatter and Dodge, and a few other characters, but most likely it still would have been Billy. I just think that we could have seen more of Hank, because I know that the crew wanted Hank to return, but Hit said no, probably because they couldn't be bothered to make him in CGI. Around this time was when The Adventures of Thomas was set to come out, and I don't think they could have filmed this in models. As I said in a previous video, I think that The Adventures of Thomas would have ended the brand, so let's just leave The Adventures of Thomas out of this. Misty Island Rescue. This would have been difficult, mainly the set, because in Series 12 the crew did not care about set detail, and for a place like Misty Island I don't think the crew would have had the efforts for it. And the Shake Shake Bridge, well, this would have been very difficult with models. There was a plan for a movie where Thomas would get lost on the mainland and would meet a new character, and together they would make their way back to Sodor. These plotlines later reused for Hero of the Rails in Misty Island Rescue, but they could have made a new character, maybe reusing, I don't know, Molly's model. This could have worked. Series 14. This would have pretty much been the same. Maybe the Misty Island episodes replaced will be about some hero characters or something. We could also have had some more classic characters return. Probably around here the animation would improve a bit. As some of you know, Splatter and Dodge were originally going to be in Day of the Diesels, but were replaced with Paxton and Sydney. The Thomas theorist says that he thinks that Splatter and Dodge are going to return in Series 14 instead of Ari and Bert. They could have repainted Ari and Bert's props back into Splatter and Dodge, but I don't really see the point of this happening with the models. Pierce Brosnan's contract was set to end after Series 14, and the show probably would have switched to CGI after this. Overall, as much as I love Model Thomas, considering how terribly Series 12 has aged, I am quite glad that Thomas switched to CGI when it did. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. This video is a lot of fun to make. I've been thinking about this topic for a while now, and I'm happy to be finally sharing it. I want to thank all of you for watching, see you in the next video, and goodbye for now.